Happy Friday. You guys know what day it is. College football free bet Friday. 5-2 on these bad boys. Left you guys last week with Arizona plus the 22. What happened in that game? They go to OT with SC, lose it by 2. That was a sweat-free game, up 17 zip out the gate. Gonna have another bet for you guys on the Saturday slate. Will not have a bet in the one game going on tonight of the conferences I keep up with. You guys know how it goes. We'll get into that. First, let's talk a little bit about what went down on the Thursday card. Tough beat, kick in the balls. John's second bet on the season on West Virginia, minus the 2.5. I agree with the read. Just didn't get it done there. Score late, get the touchdown with 12 seconds left. And what do you know? Houston comes in with the Hail Mary from midfield, deflected, touchdown. College sports grow sometimes with some of the beats. But hey, that's what makes college sports fun. Baseball-wise, NLDS, how about them Phillies? Gonna go get it done. Big Dick Nick Castellanos, back-to-back games, couple of bombs, gets it done for the Phillies. Nice little outing there. And once again, the Braves knocked out in the NLDS. So that's what we have going on in baseball. Have a nice little matchups coming up. D-backs and Phillies. The Rangers and Astros, all Texas ALCS. Obviously, no baseball talk going on today. If you guys want those bets, of course, sign up on howtobeatthebookie.com or download the How to Beat the Bookie app. Thursday night football, Chiefs, Broncos. A little bit of a sweaty cover there for Chiefs bettors. Tough break there for Broncos bettors. KC goes and gets a field goal late. End of the first half, they get a field goal late as well. Bad clock management there by Peyton. So tough break there if you guys had action on the Broncos. Really tough if you were with us on West Virginia, the free bet from yesterday. But hey, college football free bet Fridays, 5-2. Coming off a pretty good Saturday last week, guys. 4-0 sweep on the board. Looking to get in some action. And I got a little secret for you guys. The free bet today will be a 5-unit banger. Only my second 5-unit bet of the college football season. The one earlier this year was on the Utes versus UCLA. We got that one done. We got the win. We got the cover. 1-0 on the season on 5-unit bets. Got another one coming up at the end of this show, so stay tight. We'll get into it. John does have 3 bets as well in college football out already. Let's go ahead and dive into the game going on this evening. Then we'll talk about some of the Saturday games. And then, of course, we will get into my 5-unit banger. Hopefully, we can get another big cash there. Stanford versus Colorado. That's the Friday night action we have going on this evening. What you need to know about this game is Stanford is horrible on the road. Really one of the worst Power 5 teams in the country, maybe the worst Power 5 team in the country. But yeah, Stanford, brutal on the road. 0-9 straight up and against the spread. That already can't touch Stanford in this game. Just getting that out there. Even my number on this game, make it closer to 14. So number's a bit short. We'll say that. I don't want to lay Colorado double digits on primetime Friday night against a Stanford team coming off a bye week. As bad as they are on the road, not my cup of tea to get in with that. Big number here for Colorado. I imagine we're going to see a lot of public action there on the Boulders today. They are coming off a nice road win. We hadn't really seen them too much road success. Saw with TCU early. They bounced back in a nice road win against ASU. A little bit tight. Didn't cover the spread there. Lost on the hook if you guys had Colorado in that game. But they win that one 27-24. And Stanford's coming off getting their shit kicked in by Oregon 42-6. They haven't met since 2020. And that was a Colorado win 35-32. Colorado has won the last 3 meetings. They've only played 3 times since 2016. And clearly, this is a newest day team here for the Boulders. And really, it's a new team for Stanford as well. I mean, there was a point there in the late 2010s, definitely, 15 years back, however far you go back. This Stanford team was, up there in the threats with the Pac-12, depending on how far you want to go back to Andrew Luck days. It's been a while since Stanford has been in that realm. So, going on these matchup trends, a little bit tough, but hey, Colorado does have the matchup trends edge. It's just the road struggles here for Stanford. Total wise, I do lean a little bit to the under. If I had to put money on this game, gun to the head, I'm betting the under on this one. Stanford's last 4 went under, averaging 52 points per game. 2 of Colorado's last 3 went under, averaging 62.7 points per game. And really the only reason why that number on the average is so damn high is because that one shootout there with USC. Could this turn into a shootout? Sure. But we've seen Colorado play bad teams, low scoring wise, because this Colorado defense isn't fantastic. But some of these defenses we saw with Colorado State, we saw with ASU, they're able to hold them down just a little bit, play a bit more under-trending football. Would not be surprised if that's how this game plays out. Lean here is to Colorado ever so slightly. Like I said, not laying double digits here on this game tonight. Not backing a Stanford team 0-9 straight up and against the spread their last 9 road games. And the heavier lean would be to the under. But again, no bet for me on this Friday night football game. I am loading up my chips for Saturday college action. Let's get into some of these college football Saturday games. Great slate coming up. Amazing slate coming up. Let's talk about the game of the week first off. Or, I like to call it the game of the week. I look forward to this matchup every year. Notre Dame, USC. If you guys don't know, grew up in Southern California, so this was always something that was always there. Last week had both Arizona against USC and Louisville keep the points outright against Notre Dame. Now you come back in here. One was a look-ahead spot for both teams. Part of why we cashed on those. Numbers were a bit off as well. Now you have USC still in a look-ahead spot. And granted, it's hard for you to come in a look-ahead spot. They're undefeated, but they're not really covering spreads the last couple of games here. And then you have this Notre Dame team coming off tough loss to Louisville, had a tough loss to Ohio State, but they covered against Ohio State. They cover against ranked teams. They cover against ranked teams at home. So looking at a cheap favorite price here for the Fighting Irish, this is Notre Dame or nothing. Now, by the numbers, right? You got 2.5 here. Like the base numbers on this game, I'm making Notre Dame a 1-point favorite. Not looking to go, you can argue the 1.5 difference. USC won last year's meeting. Prior to that, Notre Dame won the prior 4. We've seen these ownership trends. We saw that with Oklahoma State versus Kansas State, right? Kansas State kicked their shit in last year. Prior to that, Oak State dominated. What do you know? Oak State, boom, comes out of a bye week, gets a win against K-State. So similar matchup history that you have a revenge angle for a team who used to own this matchup. Granted, since Lincoln Riley comes in, Caleb Williams comes in, different USC team than we've seen in this matchup in the last previous years. Going up against a Brian Kelly Notre Dame. So take a grain of salt with that matchup history, but at the end of the day, it's a revenge game for a matchup ownership that Notre Dame used to have. All that I'll take it in. I can get this from 1 to 2.5, no problem. Let's look at the play styles. USC leads the country in points scored, obviously. It's an electrifying offense. Everyone and their mother has heard about Caleb Williams by now. This is a true, legitimate offense. Here's the problem. It is a truly bad defense, and I mean that. This is not a good defense. It's been their problem the last couple of years. It was their problem last year in the Pac-12 championship against Utah, which, by the way, they get Utah next week, a conference championship revenge game at home. Little bit of a look ahead. Now, you can't really look past a rival like Notre Dame, but granted, Pac-12 champs, 2 times reigning Pac-12 champs, Utah, lost to them last year in the Pac-12 championship. You don't think USC is looking ever so slightly onto that matchup with Utah? They are. They're not looking past Notre Dame, but they are looking at Utah. Make that, take that for what you will. Notre Dame, much better defense. And I know it's hard to say that after they just got stomped by Louisville, but they held down a really good Ohio State offense. They held them down. They've played some better teams. They've had the tougher schedule than USC. USC has played a tight game with a bad Colorado team, a bad Arizona team. Earlier in the season, they played some tight games, and as a 28-point favorite. So this is a team that their defense allows team to keep it in. Notre Dame plays to level of competition. They were looking dead set at this game last week, and their loss to Louisville. That game meant so much to Louisville. This is Notre Dame's spot all the fucking way. Fighting Irish or nothing in this one, minus the 2.5. And I think they get revenge there on the rival. And I think the world gets put on notice that this USC defense is very problematic. I've been preaching this for a year and a half, ever since Lincoln Riley comes into town. Say, hey, offense looks great. Defense, very problematic. Part of why I like the Utes so much. The Utes have the best defense in the Pac-12. Granted, they're on a backup QB. They don't have the offense of Williams, Penix, Nix, anything going on there, Oregon and Washington. But they do have that best defense. That's why they're the reigning Pac-12 champs 2 times. Defense wins championships. And, these rivalry-ranked opponent matchups, Notre Dame, USC, give me the better defense. Give me the better defense with a revenge factor. Give me the better defense going up against a team who has a conference championship revenge game next week. Fighting Irish or nothing in this one. Let's see if Hartman can get a big win here after some tough games there. Really 3 tough games in a row. And this is number 4 here for Notre Dame. You're coming off of, excuse me, you're coming off of Ohio State, Duke, and then a loss to Louisville. And now you're here. That's the game of the week in my eyes. And I'm on the Fighting Irish in that one. That's going to be, well, I'm not on it yet, but I haven't put it on the app. I haven't officially bet it personally, but I will be on the Fighting Irish in that game. Then we have, let's talk about some of these SEC matchups. By the way, the 5-unit banger will be in the SEC. Actually, let's go to a ACC game here first. NC State at Duke. We've been paying attention a lot to Duke last couple of weeks, coming off a bye week after losing to the Fighting Irish. NC State coming off a tough game with Marshall. Big question mark on this game is Leonard, the cornerback here for Duke. If you guys watch that game, by the way, Duke against Notre Dame, crazy finish. I mean, yeah, Duke with the lead late. They elect to punt, and instead of kicking a decently long field goal, their kicker is having issues. They do punt. Notre Dame drives the field. Hartman converts on a 4th and 16 on a scramble nonetheless, and they end up getting a touchdown on that drive, get the 2-point conversion, end up getting the backdoor cover there on the 5.5 if anyone had any money there on Fighting Irish in that one. But of all of that, after Notre Dame gets the football back, after they go 95 yards, after they get the touchdown, at the end of the game, Leonard gets sacked and fucks up his ankle. So you have a quarterback here who's hurt, and that is why this line is significantly lower than it should be. Duke, though, leads the ACC in points allowed. They are second in the conference in rushing yards. Leonard is up there as far as their leading rusher on the team. So that's, take that with a grain of salt, how much that can be affected. But this is an NC State team that's just bad. 1-6 against the spread their last 7 road games. 4-2 straight up. 1-4-1 against the spread this season. They're not covering numbers. And then you have this Duke team who's been playing good football with some top-level teams. And now they're going to be most likely on a backup. Now, Leonard hasn't been ruled out. He's been listed questionable all week. But I was watching that. I saw the injury happen live. Bad. And granted, they get the bye week. Maybe that helps them come back sooner than later. But did not look good. I would expect him to be out for this game. Even still, this should be a double-digit game with him. Without him, big move on the number here. You guys know, I talk about Utah all the time. You get value on teams running with backup quarterbacks just because books over-evaluate the number there on how much that QB1 is worth. Leonard is worth a good amount to the number. Is he worth 6-7 points? I don't think so. So, big move there on that. We got to wait to see what's going on injury-wise, quarterback-wise, but worth a look there to the Blue Devils in that matchup. We'll see what ends up going on there. Another game of the week, Oregon, Washington. Expect another shootout, right? I mean, this is two of the best. This one, amazing football game coming our way, Oregon and Washington. For those of you guys who might have got offended when I pre-emphasized USC Notre Dame as game of the week, you might be thinking this one's game of the week. All right, here I hear your argument. Oregon 5-0 straight up against the spread. You have this Washington team 5-0 straight up, 3-1-1 against the spread. Washington, both these teams top 5 in scoring, top 5 in total yards per game. You name it, they're doing it. Their offense is absolutely obliterating teams. Here's the thing, though. Oregon comes in with a much better defense. We saw Washington as well struggle a little bit on the road to Arizona. I love Arizona, by the way, just as far as covering numbers. But that we saw Washington struggle a little bit in that game against Arizona. We've seen Oregon here coming off 2 easy, breezy wins, killing Stanford, killing Colorado. Now, the one argument you can make against Oregon is their strength of schedule. They haven't had that tough opponent yet. This could be it here in Washington. Tough road game. Let's look at the matchup history. Washington wins last 3 at Oregon, but Oregon won the 3 prior meetings, including the last 2 at Washington. The road team has won the last 3 meetings. You have a little bit of a revenge angle here for Oregon in this one. Do we see, Nix and them? I'm going to put this down simple. Both offenses elite. Defensively, I'm going to give Oregon the slight edge, and you give it a revenge factor in a conference battle. You have Oregon coming out of a bye. You have Washington coming out of a bye, so no extra edge there in either one. But I am excited for this football game. Tough number, tough game all around. The public's going to be on the over. I don't blame them. It could be a 1,000,000-degree shootout. And you also have to look at the dog there or nothing. I get it, home edge Washington, but road teams had success in this matchup. Oregon has a revenge angle. Another one of these matchup trends where you look at it, oh, hey, Oregon won the prior three before losing last year. Now they get a revenge spot. So that's a common theme you want to look for. Ownership with a loss to a revenge spot. That's what perfect conference, and that happens in NFL as well as division spots. So perfect there. Tough game. Personally not betting this one. My man John has a bet on that game. We'll let you guys go check out the app for that one, but that's how I'm looking at it. Let's get into my 5-unit bet here. We'll wrap this up here, guys. Sorry if I went a little quick. These episodes this week been a little bit shorter anyways. We're going to keep it that way. 5-unit bet. SEC football. Give it to me. The Tennessee Bulls minus the 3 at home versus A&M. 5 units on this one. Let's dive in. First off, let's just talk about home and away splits. Tennessee, 12 straight home wins since 2022. 10-0 straight up. 8-2 against the spread at home. Damn. A&M since 2022. 0-5 straight up. 1-4 against the spread. You have a team in the last 2 years who hasn't won on the road. You have a team in the last 2 years who hasn't lost at home. And here's where it gets really nice. A&M coming off a tough loss to Alabama. Tennessee coming off a bye week. If you guys remember, we were on Tennessee versus South Carolina. Don't know if you guys, those of you who are members would remember, we were on Tennessee versus South Carolina 2 weeks ago, and now they come into a bye week and they get A&M out of it. Matchup history-wise, A&M hasn't played them since 2020. It was in Knoxville, and A&M did win that football game. So a little bit of a home revenge factor. Granted, it goes back 3 years, so take it with a grain of salt. But hey, Tennessee, what they get done at home, very impressive. They looked very good against South Carolina. Multiple turnovers. They lost the turnover battle against South Carolina, and they still beat them by 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns. Offense off the charts. They are rushing over 237 yards per game. A&M, very good against the rush. Don't get me wrong. A&M, very good defense altogether. They do bring the better defense to this battle as far as, total yards allowed and everything else you want to look at on defense, allowing just 293 total yards per game, just over 80 rushing, 19.8 points per game. But hey, Tennessee's defense not too shabby either. 17.8 points per game, just 334.2 total yards per game. You have this Vols team scoring over 36, A&M scoring over 35. By the bare numbers, looking pretty similar, but just the home and away trends. These are 2 teams in SEC who have the biggest home edges in college football. In the SEC, sorry, not all college football, SEC. 2 of the biggest home edges in SEC. Now, if that means you have a massive home edge, that means you have a massive drop-off on the road as well. I got 6-point splits on both these teams. I make A&M 6 points better at home. I make Tennessee 6 points better at home. And the inverse of that, I make A&M 6 points worse on the road. So put them in this spot. Coming off a tough loss to Alabama. You have Tennessee coming off a bye week after crushing South Carolina. Give me the Vols to make it 13 straight home wins. Give me A&M to have 6 straight road losses. You're laying a field goal in this game. And I was a little bit, I was going to bet this game. A little bit hesitant to go 5 units, right? It's only my second 5-unit bet of the season. Waiting to see public money on it. Public money's coming in on A&M. And usually when you see a ranked team versus a non-ranked team, field goal favorite at home, right? That's like a go-to public favorite. It's not in this situation. We're seeing more money coming in both on the spread, on the money line, on A&M. So public dog coming off a tough loss, who's lost 5 straight on the road, versus a field goal favorite who's won 10 straight or 12 straight at home, 8-2 against the spread the last 10. I'm not going to overthink it. Give me the Bulls, 5 units here, getting it done. I like Milton. He's been a little bit sloppy, but they're putting it together. And I expect this defense to be much better out of the bye week. They look good there against South Carolina. And, hey, biggest home edge in SEC. Give it to me here. Tennessee -3. 5-unit banger. Second 5-unit bet of mine of the season. Let's see if we can get a nice little winner there. As always, guys, appreciate you guys tuning in. 5-2 with me on these college football free bet Fridays. The last 2 haven't had actual free bets on the Friday. But on Saturday, you guys know it. We don't force action here. Colorado, Stanford tonight, no action there for me. Other 2 games going on, not conferences I keep up with. We'll have much more bets going on in college football this weekend. John with already 5 NFL bets, 3 college football bets. If you guys want all of those, go sign up on howtobeatthebookie.com or download the How to Beat the Bookie app. Appreciate you guys tuning in to the Cash It Pod here Monday through Friday. Try to get these up by 1 o'clock Eastern. day like today. Quick episode, just myself, able to get this to you guys sooner. And wish you guys best of luck this weekend. Let's go 6-2 on these free bets. Let's go 2-0 on the 5-unit bangers. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's make some damn money.